Want to know why? Ask how. Howard, the humongous. Okay. Republicans don't know it, but they are trying to end American democracy. Yes, the members of one political party are trying to tear down the democratic system. But they think they are defending it. From whom? From a criminal cabal called the Clintons. And from me. I'm a Democrat with liberal leanings. Ann Coulter says us Democrats and liberals are committing treason. In fact, Coulter calls one of the newspapers that we read the Treason Times. How could one party work to end democracy without knowing it? Easy. Every tribal worldview has two poles, like the poles on a globe. At the North Pole is a hero who represents the values and virtues of the tribe. Right now, for a vast number of Republicans, that positive hero is, hold on to your stomach, Donald Trump. At the South Pole is a Satan, an enemy of the tribe, an enemy that it's permissible to hate, an enemy who sums up all that is evil in the world. That enemy for the Trump Republicans is a couple. It's Bill and Hillary Clinton. And if you are a Democrat, it's you. Not to mention me. But surely Republicans cherish democracy, right? Think again. We've had two recent presidents who lost the popular vote. By Democratic standards, their presidencies were illegitimate. They were George W. Bush and, of course, Donald Trump. And Republicans are convinced that these two popular vote losers have both been legitimate presidents. More important, Republicans like Sean Hannity on Fox TV absolutely lust to see Hillary and Bill Clinton go to jail. Yes, they want to jail Bill Clinton, the only president in recent times to balance the budget. The only man to achieve, that is, the only president to achieve the sort of budget surplus that Republicans and conservatives claim they worship. And the Republicans want Bill Clinton in jail. As for Hillary, the popular chant during Trump rallies during the presidential campaign was hang her, hang her, hang her. And General Mike Flynn, Trump's future national security advisor, led those chants. Jailing political opponents is a practice that would end democracy. It's what Vladimir Putin has imposed on Russia, a dictatorship disguised as a democracy. It's what Turkish dictator Recep Tayyip Erdogan has imposed on Turkey. It's what Nicolas Maduro, another dictator, has used to shackle Venezuela. All three of these dictators do what the Republicans want for America. They jail their political opponents. But the American system is the opposite. We don't jail our political opponents. We run against them in free and fair elections. But jailing the Clintons is not all that Republicans like Sean Hannity want. They want to purge the FBI and Justice Department of Democrats. After all, if you believed all Democrats are traitors, you would want to flush them out of power too, wouldn't you? What would purging Democrats from the FBI and the Justice Department do for America? It would give Donald Trump an opportunity to hire the only sort of people he approves of. People who praise him as a genius. People who kiss Donald Trump's fucking ass. Banishing Democrats from government positions would bring back the sort of patronage system in which hacks loyal to the party in power prevailed, and there is no continuity. That's the sort of system we had until 1883, when the civil service system was set up. And the civil service system was set up because using government jobs for patronage produced a crippled government. A government that couldn't serve the interests of Americans like you and me, even if you are a Republican. Another example of the new totalitarian republicanism. Let me repeat that phrase. It's a good one. Totalitarian republicanism. Republicans refuse to investigate the ways in which the Russians manipulated our presidential election in 2016. One Russian act alone indisputably aided Donald Trump. It was the release of 30,000 of Hillary's emails. And guess who believed that came from the Russians? Donald Trump, who begged the Russians to release even more. All of this happened without a counterbalancing release of Donald Trump's emails. See any political leaning here in one direction or the other? Republican lore says that Hillary's emails were leaked by a Democrat who was later killed for his deed. Give me a break. But Republican lore is one of the problems. It is fake news. It is phony. It's falsified information. All 17 intelligence agencies say that the release of Clinton emails was done by the Russians. Because the Republicans are so intent on Hillary lynching, the Russians have an open field to manipulate the American elections of 2018, which are right around the corner. If anything is treason, this Republican indifference and the indifference of a Republican so-called commander-in-chief to the intrusion by an enemy on what some call our most sacred institution, our presidential campaigns, is, guess what? Treason. All of this amounts to one thing. The Trump-era Republicans have become unwitting tools of a totalitarian impulse, a dictatorial impulse. They have become totalitarian Republicans. Look, we all wake up every morning these days with a deep craving, an appetite, an eager glee. What are we looking for? The next great gotcha on our political enemies. Us Democrats can't wait to see what sin against the nation and its values Donald Trump has committed today. And Republicans can't wait to see what appalling new bit of news they can hate the Democrats for. These moments of righteous indignation are addictive. They pump our dopamine centers. Yes, look up dopamine and altruistic punishment, and you'll see how the dopamine system gets into this political act. And Robert Sapolsky's magisterial book, Behavior, explains another reason for her hatred addiction. When we are in pain, one way to soothe ourselves is to pick on someone lower on the totem pole, lower on the hierarchical ladder. For more on this, see my book, The Lucifer Principle. But here's the bottom line. Neither Republicans or Democrats are traitors. A difference of policy and of opinion is not traitorous. It is democratic. It is freedom of speech and assembly, something you are guaranteed in the Constitution. It is American. We have to support elections based on the popular vote. We have to stop talking about jailing our political enemies. We have to stop talking about lynching them. We have to support government agencies that employ competent, ethical people of both parties. And we have to get the Russians out of our elections. But we have to stop making all of the folks on the opposite side of the argument into felons, murderers, burglars. It is not criminal to disagree. It is American. This is Howard the Humongous speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make, and believe it or not, despite this vast hiatus, I still haven't mastered the off button. There it is, I think.